Let's find the area of the parallelogram determined by the vectors u and v. First thing I'd like to do is make a sketch and see if we can come up with a rough estimate of the answer. Here's a sketch with the vectors u and v identified, and the parallelogram in question has two sides which go parallel to the vector u and two sides which are parallel to the vector v. So roughly our parallelogram looks like this, and we're trying to find this shaded area here. Now just by eyeballing this quickly, I'd say the area of the parallelogram is about 20 units square, because looking at this diagram here, I'd say the area of the parallelogram in blue is pretty close to the area of this red rectangle here. So let's say 20 units square is a good estimate going into the problem. Now the area of the parallelogram is defined as the absolute value of the following determinant. It's the determinant of the matrix consisting of vectors u and v. So if I write it out explicitly for this example here, the area is the absolute value of the determinant of the matrix, which has 3, 5 in its first row, 4, 1 in its second row. So really important just to notice the notation here. The outer set of vertical bars here represent the absolute value, whereas the inner set of vertical bars here represent the determinant operation. So let's take a look at this determinant here. I'm going to keep the absolute value signs on here, and we're going to work inside those absolute value signs and calculate this determinant here. So let's remember how the determinant is calculated. We take the product along the main diagonal, so 3 times 1, and we subtract off the product along the backwards diagonal. So we're subtracting off 5 times 4. In other words, we've got the absolute value of 3 times 1 minus 5 times 4. All right, so continuing to keep the absolute value signs on there, we've got the absolute value of negative 17. In other words, 17. So the area of the parallelogram determined by u and v, 17 units square, and that corresponds pretty well with our original estimate of 20 units square.